Hi, my name is Sally Barnard, an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer. Welcome to Call Me Zena, a true story into the spiritual realms. Join me as I sit and discuss the journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. It's time to trust your intuition. This is your inner knowings. Through questions and points of conversation, I can help others feel empowered. With the ability to touch people's past lives, I help others connect and not feel alone. Sit with me and call in live, 888-994-4995. Hi everybody, my name is Sally and my show is Call Me Zena. I want to spend a few seconds or minutes right now to just mention a few things that are going on. I was sitting here thinking before the show came on about how devastating and how awful this hurricane is. I'm from Florida, the southern part of Florida. I'm on the east side, not the west. But the things that we see are unbelievable. It's so hard to understand why this happens. Just to give you a little bit about myself and my background, I can't tell you why. I just know that we have to have hope and we have to have faith. I'm sitting here in the Brooklyn Cafe where I started my show about 2.5 months ago. And the moment I come in here, I just want to explain this too. I don't know what I'm going to talk about because I get many people giving me questions, but just want to say that I get a sense of peace the moment I walk into here. The people that surround me, I can be in the most strangest mood with a whole lot of things going on. The moment I sit here, a calm comes over me. Now I'm talking about something right now that I definitely do want to bring up, which is obviously a negative. It's a horrible situation that happened, but I feel I'm able to do this because sitting here surrounded by, I call them my family, I can talk a little bit about this. We don't know why, we don't know how this happens. Unfortunately, it did, and there are many, many people that are absolutely devastated by this hurricane. We can feel for them, we can pray for them. It's just, I say, and I always will say this, we need to send love. We need to send love out. They are getting help. Will it be enough for the next few weeks? I don't know. Hopefully it will be. Unfortunately, as time goes by, we seem to forget what their suffering is. However, just so that I want to tell you, please don't forget, I was not caught in any hurricane or even a tornado, but it brought home to me the fact that it was so near. Life can change so quickly. We need to appreciate what we have. I know a lot of people say that, but when you hear this, it does, if there's any light in this, it brings home to us how things can change. Many things, just not the hurricane or tornadoes. We can be crossing a road and we can get knocked down. We can be in a car accident. Please, please, please try to appreciate every day. If you're suffering from depression, I know what that's like. I suffered from depression for many years as a child, but I'm going to say, have touched the other side of this. Do I still get depressed? Do I still get anxiety? Yes, but I have a way, because I've touched something more, to bring myself back here, to know that I'm very grateful to be here. I love what I'm doing right now, and I want to continue with this. It's to give hope to everybody. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to take me. I just know that I found my home here to be able to express this. Having said all this, let's get on with the show now. Is there any questions? Please give me, I think, Dawn, you said there was somebody that had a question for me, I believe.
Question is, do you do soul readings?
Yes, I do. I do soul readings, I do past life readings. If someone has a question about what's going on in their life, I can't guarantee that I'm going to give you the answer or if the answer is correct, but I have had many, many people call me and thank me. I rely very much on my guides to give me these messages, the collective that are here right now. Yeah.
I had a vision when we were doing a show today, and it was like when Superman came from Krypton, he flew down, there was a baby in a bubble. How would you interpret that message?
Well, is there anybody in your family that's, I mean, you may have crossed your mind. I'm feeling that someone in your family is going to have a baby. I don't know who, but I think it's a close relative of yours. It could even be a cousin, but I do believe there's someone in your family that's coming in and they're trying to let you know. I don't know when. It could be a month. No, not a month. You'd know if they were pregnant. It could be a year from now. It could be 9 months. It could be 2 years. But there is a baby coming in.
Interesting. That's interesting. And what do you think about the planet shifting as far as the hurricane and different storms?
Well, I mean, we touched on this a little bit, in my last show. I feel that the planet is alive. It's hard to understand this, and I have problems understanding it, but it's giving us messages, especially our planet right now. It's being, we don't respect it the way that we should. We don't respect ourselves the way that we should. It needs nurturing, it needs love. So the more we can do that, we need to change. We need to change our mindset. It's very difficult because we're in such, I call it the 3D world, which is very surrounded by negativity, with wars, with the weather the way that it is. It's not just a hurricane. We get tornadoes, we get earthquakes. It's our way, it's Earth's way of telling us to wake up. We can call that, we're in touch with God, whatever we want, a collective consciousness, but Earth has the same thing going on. Our planet has this going on, and it's getting bombarded with negativity. How are they going to tell us? They're telling us, right? Well, the Earth is telling us right now, help me, do something. I don't want to scare people. I want this to be a hope program of hope. But please wake up to the fact that we are doing destruction here. It's really important to understand this. I'm not saying that the world is coming to an end. I don't know. But if we carry on like this, it could be 1,000 years from now. I believe in coming back. We want to come back to this world. So let's try, everybody, to be more positive, to love one another. And even if 1 or 2 people go with what I'm saying, it still helps. It's a message that we can pass on and pass on and pass on. Eventually, hopefully, there'll be a wonderful outcome to this. I don't know.
Do you think the planet shifting is what's causing some of the change?
Yes, because what's happening too, and I often mention this too, we need to be on track. We need that balance. Just like anything, if you've got I'm a Libra, so the scales, if a scale goes too much one way, it's going to tip over. If it goes the other way, it's going to tip over. So we need to have balance here. It's easy to say, it's difficult to do, but try very hard. What tips the balance is negativity, and that negativity spreads from one person to another. So if we can just bring ourselves together, yes, there's always unfortunately, there's going to be wars, but if we can see past that, question ourselves, why are we doing this? What are we trying to prove? Because we live here, we shouldn't get along with someone who lives on the other side of the world that has a different point of view. Let's try to bring the whole point of view together. Talk about it. Let's see, without arguing, without fighting, without wars. Let's see if we can come to some decision somewhere. It's got to start somewhere. I'm just giving a message. I'm not going to be able to save this planet, but I can help this planet, which is different, very different.
Do you ever get messages from royalty, or as if the Queen, when she passed, did she send you messages of information to share?
Yes, I think exactly what I'm talking about now. But I think, yes, I do hear. I feel it's very strange. I'm from England. However, I always wanted to come to America, which I'd also mentioned too. I wasn't really, as a child growing up, tremendously patriotic towards England, but suddenly I changed, and many messages were coming for me, which I do believe was royalty, actually, from the past. So now what happened, I got very interested in royalty here. And when the Queen passed away, I actually cried. I had tears in my eyes. I don't think I would have done that 30 years ago, but I've changed. And it rang true to me that royalty, I used to say why they have all this and they have that, but there's reasons for that. And even when you go to London, the pageantry and everything that's attached to that is wonderful. I've changed. I hear messages from royalty. The answer is yes.
And do you think it's because you're connected from your past life to perhaps the bloodlines?
Yes, it is. As I had mentioned before, and I'll mention him again, my guide that was here with me on Earth, who has passed over this last year, I was drawing, excuse me, for some reason my voice goes, I'm okay, I can have a little sip of this, excuse me. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, I was drawing. One of the very first things before I even knew that I could draw, I was sketching. It happened to be a castle. And it was quite a big piece of paper. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I drawing a castle? So much so, and I never erase anything that I'm drawing. This was a sketch. I'm drawing the lines on this castle and the roof. And I just, even if I went to bed and I stopped, I would get up in the middle of the night and carry on another line somewhere that led to something. And it happened to be a castle. So now I'm getting to think, why am I drawing palaces and castles? Maybe this is something that I'm attached to in a previous life. I've since found out a lot more, actually, about this. Yes, it was. It was from many centuries ago, though.
And they're showing questions about past lives. I think a lot of people seem to have those and what you come forward with. We had someone in the studio today, and she's definitely been blessed by the angels. If somebody has a brush with death and they even lose their life for a moment in time, do you feel there's a greater message or calling for them?
I do. I do. From what I've also read and what I feel, I think that, you know, we often hear people say, well, it wasn't my time. They told me it wasn't my time. So I believe that we come back with a message. I had a very similar experience. I went into hospital overnight. I came out a completely different person. I believe that I touched that because I started to astral project 3 times a week, if you know what that is. I was flying to different places, which were very, very real to me. And it brought me into understanding more. This is ridiculous. Can we just break for a commercial for a minute? Thank you.
A true story, Call Me Zena is the telling of Sally Barnard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came to the U.S. in 1979. A mother of 2 and grandmother of 4, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the 3rd dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest in art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail how she's able to astral project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life's direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today.
You have been watching Call Me Zena with your host, Sally Barnard. As an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer, know that you could always seek me out for resources. Visit artbysallybarnard.com today. Now, back to the show. Okay, here I am back. I had a little bit of a coughing thing. I don't know what it was. Maybe they were telling me I wasn't on the right subject, but I'm back. So let's hear some more questions.
So can you project when someone, I guess, is going to have a baby or find their love of their life? It seems to be one of the most popular questions.
It is. And up to a point, yes, I have told people and I have been accurate. I don't know where, I mean, I'm getting a lot of my information from my collective, but it's more, they tell me more about what's happening with the world, what's happening over here or there, to give my message of hope to people and to explain a little bit how I'm able to draw without ever having a lesson. However, that does lead to more personal things too. So I'm happy to answer questions on that too.
What about what's happening over in the Ukraine and Russia?
That's also very sad. This is the negativity that's coming out in the world, and it's expressing itself in many different places. Yes, there's always, if we go way back in time, there's always wars going on. But for some reason, it is getting worse. I mean, it's more maybe because we have the internet and we can look and see on the news what's happening. But it's scary. Even yesterday on the television, there was something with North Korea going over Japan with a rocket. We need to stop. I'm not going to be able to change anything. I just want people to be aware that if they can just turn that negativity into a positive, maybe it'll reach the people, the powers that be, that what are we doing? We'll end up blowing this whole planet up. Again, I'm not here to scare anyone, and I'm going to say it could be 1,000 years from now. I don't know. But what is going up in the air is not really good.
Here they're looking at just people on a different path. They're showing us into the collective, into the energy.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Okay, so the picture that I'm seeing, oh, that's beautiful. We are energy. So if we can just begin to just understand a little bit of that, we get attracted to certain things through energy. Before I knew this, I would think many things were coincidence, but it's not. We're putting out. But just as we're putting out positivity, which goes into what we were talking about, we're putting out negativity too. So if we can just change our mindset, if we can just understand maybe we are more than what we think we are, that we're energy, we're attached to things, that we will start to begin to change. It's really difficult, and I understand this too. It took me a long time to really understand what I know now. But we're here, we're all together. We don't stay here, we go to different places and we transform into different